Drank a lot of martinis.
Oh, he did?
FDR. And you know how he lied about being able to walk? Because nobody knew he couldn't walk until he was like out of office.
And that was only, what, a year? The last year in office,
he was
couldn't
president
walk?
for like 16 years and he couldn't fucking
No,
walk.
but like the last year he
I think like
walk.
the last 8 years he couldn't walk.
Wow, the whole last half.
Like the whole last half. But
Crazy.
What he would do, they would just tie metal around his fucking legs, like put him in braces so they were straight like that. And then they would just like open a curtain and he would be at a podium. And then he'd give his speech and he'd be like, all right, I'll see you, everybody. And then like 2 Secret Service aides would come up and he would just grab onto either side of them and then just like rock his fucking like strapped up body back and forth and pretend he was like walking.
Fuck.
Yeah, I totally buy that Biden is dead.
Yeah.
Then. If they did that with FDR, I totally buy that Biden is not alive and it's 100% a body double.
Mm-hmm. 100%. Yeah. And Kamala has a drone in her head driving her body.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the little Men in Black alien?
Yeah, it feels like the third day they just put a pickaxe in the back of her skull.
It's crazy.
And just like squished it around.
She's worse than him.
Yes.
She has worse faculties than Joe Biden. It's unbelievable every time she speaks how retarded it is.
She reminds me of the first time I met a mom who takes Xanax. It's
Yes.
like always that type of vibe.
The vibe of a woman that has to take like 2 Xanax just to get on the freeway. Like just to drive 50 miles per hour.
Yeah, that vibe of you're hanging out with your friends, the mom comes over. She's like kind of like you get the vague thing. It's like, is she gonna like fuck us right now?
Yes, one of those. She's always got a glass of like Pinot.
She's slopping, like one of her titties is kind of falling out a little bit. She's like, you're such a big, strong man.
Could you help me move some furniture?
You're like, well, I'm gonna go jack off in the bathroom right now.
We want to work on this country because it's the country we all live in, and I think as vice president that I'm starting to think I'm vice president. That's like every speech.
Yeah, she almost starts to talk like Don Knotts a little bit.
It's so weird.
She's like, well, you want me to run what? The capital of what? Well, Andy, I can't be the vice president. I'm retarded.
Do you guys ever get mad when you think of the "We did it, Joe"?
Oh, yeah.
We did. Sometimes I'm doing something and I think of that and I go, "Fucking god damn it!"
Yeah.
I just like go back into my
Yeah,
body.
just
We
like
did it.
Yeah, it's like she's riding a dick or something. It's like, we did it, Joe.
Joe.
Oh, we did it, Joe.
We did it, Joe. I felt your pre-cum.
What I do like about Biden, he's one of my favorite presidents ever because he looks the most retarded out of all of them somehow.
Yeah.
And it's literally because he looks, his head, you can see the craters in it. Like you can see the big soft spot on the side of his head that I thought only babies had those.
He's like regrowing the baby thing that you can push in.
Yeah, he's regrowing.
His skull's growing apart.
He's also that old...
It's like Pangea.
Yeah, exactly.
He's that level of elderly when they lose a ton of weight and you're like, oh, Grandpa, you look great. And then your grandpa like dies 2 weeks later. Yeah. Because it's definitely a bad sign.
You're like, Grandpa, you look great. He's like, I'm wasting.
Yeah. He's that, like he kind of looks skinny for an old guy. He doesn't have like old person fat, but that's just because he's like his body's living off of his
You
fat.
lost 5 pounds because it's your vertebrae melted.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because his body's going to start eating his bones soon. Like it goes to the bones and the bone's marrow, and then they're the bone marrow, and then eventually, then you're just done. Then you drop.
He's a fall away from dying. Like if he's at that age when like an old person falls and that's it.
That's what made me think. Also, it was a stunt double guy that they had because he fell over on a bike 6 months ago.
Yeah,
And
that
ate
bike
shit
pretty hard.
Yeah, he did.
and he got up like it was. He got up like it was a Johnny Knoxville bad grandpa. Or what is it called?
Whatever.
Where he pretends to be something.
No, you had it. Bad Grandpa.
Bad Grandpa.
You're
Yeah.
overthinking it.
Well, I
It's
didn't
Bad
know
Grandpa.
what's the Robert De Niro one? Evil Grandpa?
That's called Gay Grandpa.
Yeah.
Hey, it's me, Bobby De Niro. I owe $10 million in back taxes.
You told me that.
I just told
He
you
does?
that. I think I was
He's
texting
broke.
him. So
Robert De Niro is broke.
I saw it online. Robert De Niro in 2015, he got hit with an $8.5 million like you owe this in taxes from the government. And then his wife, his black wife, who's been married to for like 20 years.
He had another kid recently, right?
Yeah.
He's got 7 fucking kids.
Yeah.
And his wife, he literally like hired a lawyer to try and get his wife's credit card like reduced.
Yeah.
Because her credit card was like $500,000 a month. He's like, I wanted it 250. 250's reasonable. So they're getting divorced. He owes $1 million a year in alimony. So this lady's just like bleeding him. He has like literally, and then in COVID,
during
COVID hit, and all his stupid bullshit restaurants went under.
He owns Nobu and all that stuff, and then during COVID they didn't make any money, so they were all deep in the red.
Right. I love how Robert De Niro is like the same as like a guy at the NBA All-Star game, like getting tricked by a hoe.
Oh, they should do a 30 for 30 on him.
He's like
yeah.
the Sean Kemp of actors.
Yeah, he's got like 30 kids.
Dude, he's going to be applying for his CDL pretty soon. He's going to be like driving a fucking
my
U-Haul.
God. I didn't know he
Apparently
owed so
he
much
declared
taxes.
bankruptcy and stuff. Like he's like at zero.
That's
But
why
he
he
can't-
kept
but
doing
he-
all those bad movies.
Yeah,
I
But he
guess?
still
Yes.
owes, it's tax money, so you can't do bankruptcy on that.
Right.
So he's still paying off that. And alimony, I don't think you can do bankruptcy on.
I think.
No, I don't
think
think you
it was
can
with his
either.
businesses. He declared bankruptcy
Oh,
on
those
or
are-
something.
Well, that's
Yeah,
fine,
yeah.
but he's still got like real shit he's got to pay. Wouldn't it be? Imagine if Robert De Niro dies in prison.
oh, like
I know, like
Greatest,
The Irishman.
like Jake LaMotta or The Irishman or something like that'd be kind of poetic.
yeah.
He's just got Sebastian
Yeah.
Maniscalco's coming up to him and asking him to dip the bread in the juice.
Yeah.
He goes, chew it up for me. I can't eat it. Chew it up. Yeah, so now he's having to do all these bullshit like The War with Grandpa type movies because he literally can't stop working.
The Comedian. That
Yeah.
was the best movie I've ever seen.
The Comedian.
What
yeah.
was that?
It's a movie where he's like the greatest roast comic of all time, and he's at the Cellar. Edie Falco's in it. It's unbelievable these things get made. And yeah, it's amazing. The whole movie, man.
When was this?
This was a few years back. The Comedian. He's
God.
at the Cellar. All these comics are in it. He has like zero delivery. Like it's he's like the worst comic ever, but in the movie he's the best comic like that's ever lived. He's like this legend.
Oh,
It's
God.
so bad.
I think I watched something like that, but it was like a comedian and his manager on a road trip.
Oh, you're
And-
thinking of the Matt Rife movie where he's a vampire.
No, I don't know what the fuck that is.
What?
Do you know
I
about
have no-
this?
Matt Rife's in a movie where he's a vampire.
Look that up right now.
What?
Type in Matt Rife, Jamie Kennedy vampire movie.
Okay,
He
real
just sucks
quick before I forget. Wait, what were you saying?
He sucks the blood of black people.
I was
Right.
thinking
Yeah, he needs juice.
Yeah.
Chevy Chase and like Richard Dreyfuss were in a movie 2 years ago about how a comedian and his old manager rekindle a relationship in an old folks home, a retirement home. And then they start going on a road trip, and he becomes a famous comedian again, like back in the 70s when he was big with like performing with all those guys like Rich Little or whatever the hell.
Those great impressionists.
Yeah.
Rich Little.
They'd be like, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mike Tyson. Hey, man, get away from me.
Yeah, Rich Little sucked. We talked
Like
about
the
him
worst impressionist ever.
like, yeah, he's like, all right, everybody, Barack Obama. And he's like,
Hey, man, what the fuck? Motherfucker shit. I'm the first president and shit. Motherfucker, I'm the president and shit. It's 2008, motherfucker.
Is it?
yeah, here you go. No. I already
look
gave
at the
away the
kid that
twist.
Is that
unfortunately.
Jamie?
Jamie
God.
Kennedy, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Man.
I know. I saw Jamie Kennedy live about 2 years ago, and it was one of the most brutal things I've ever seen.
I was on a show with him one time. He came up after me, and he was one of the lowest points of my life.
Dude, I saw him. I was going to my friend was doing a taping, and he was the host, and he looked like somebody had cut Jamie Kennedy's face off and was impersonating him, like put it over a normal sized head.
This is a pharmacist's nightmare right here. If they see this guy coming, they're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Why can't it just be Julianne Moore and Magnolia?
Yeah.
Or like someone like that.
This
Fuck.
guy's the reason Sudafed is locked up at a CVS.
Okay, let's watch this fucking.
Why would I ever do that? You've seen people bomb. This kid next levels it.
I am a vampire. For the record, I'm neither Team Edward or Team Jacob. I rooted for the sun.
Give it up for Count Dracula, everybody. He was so scary, he's scared to laugh.
I think we got to talk over this from time to time, even though we're speechless.
Right.
Just for
I can't
copyright.
even believe what I'm looking at. I'm sorry.